My name is Luis Enrique Figueroa Lazo, and this is my presentation for my evidence 3. Okay, so first, the important events of the past decades. What I searched and what I found was that Nelson Mandela was released from prison in February 2nd, 2015. Germany was split in two following World War II, but was finally reunified in July 1st of 1990. The Gulf War in 1990. Um, the fall of the USSR in December 26, 1991. And the internet, oh well, here it's a little bit cut, but it's supposed to say that the internet was available in 1993. Um, I'm going to explain what's globalization, terrorism, unipolar world, and the digital era. First, the globalization is a process of international integration arising from the interchange of worldviews, products, ideas, and other aspects of culture. Advances in transportation and telecommunication infrastructure include the rise of the telegraphy and its prosperity, the internet, are major factors in globalization, generating further independence of economic and cultural activities. Well, I think globalization has a big impact on today's society, mostly on the technology that's been created since this past um, century. Um, an example is the internet. It had a big impact, also like it says here in globalization, and yeah. Now terrorism is commonly defined as violent acts, and it intends to create fear, perpetrated for a religious, political, and ideological goal, and which deliberately target or discharge the safety and non-combats. Another common definition sees terrorism as political, ideological, or religious violence by non-state actors. Some definitions now include acts of unlawful violence and war. Um, Now, the unipolar world. I didn't found exactly what unipolar is, but according to Blackboard, it's the closest meaning is unipolarism, which is um which is what the new reality is known about, and that is the concentration of the power in one, a single polar. That's the United States of America. It's a most strict sense and does not mean that the new superpower has absolute power over the entire world, but that is considered as a major player in international affairs. The digital era is characterized by technology which increases the speed and breadth of acknowledged turnover within the economy and society. Evolutionary theory, as an explanation of the system we live in, states that sustainability relies on knowledge turnover. In parts of the system which are relatively stable, knowledge turnover is low and new variation, when produced, is really retained. And now, why did a globalization emerge? I think, well, I investigated that it's mainly because of the advances in technology. But also, I found that it's because of the market opening and the fall of the communist block. In most cases, what caused terrorist attacks in the 20th century? The attacks occurred by discontent of other countries' all political and religious issues. How does the end of the Cold War relate within unipolar world? Now, I found this on Blackbird, the relation between Cold War and unipolar world. It says that the conflict, that's the Cold War, uh, is of vital importance in understanding the series of events that transpired in the transition from bipolar and unipolar point at the end to Cold War that lasted half a century. And now, how has the digital era influenced today's society? Well, today's society is very different from what it was um, last century because well, what most had an impact about digital era was one of the things that was very impactful was the internet because in a way it was a pretty huge way to help us communicate and share any kind of information. So that's it for my evidence. Thank you.